it's Robin from Holloway Friendly, and we are back for our final video where we cover one of our favourite topics. Can you guess what that is? Of course, it is everyday language. So this time we asked Matt and Gary why jargon can be a turn-off for a client, how can you recognise when you need to change your communication style, and how can you talk about income protection in an everyday way that people can relate to.
Now, the language you use when discussing protection can either help clients to see the inherent value of what you're recommending or totally dissuade them from taking the cover out. Here are some top tips to remember. Number one, use aspirational phrases. So rather than talking insurance, death, illness and cancer, all negative concepts, try focusing on the positive side of protection, i.e. financial resilience, financial security, not having to worry about money again. See, these positive aspirational concepts will always land better with customers. Number two, use positive language. Don't refer to premiums, budget, cost or expense. These again have negative connotations. Instead, talk about an investment in your financial resilience to encourage more positive engagement with the concept of protection. Number three, avoid using jargon. Don't use industry speak or provider terminology. Instead, try to explain things in the simplest form you can think of. Rather than just using product labels, try to add an explainer that's relatable. For example, income protection is like your private furlough scheme, a percentage of your income that's paid when you can't go to work. Number four, focus on how benefits are used. So rather than focusing on the benefit uses that are perceived as less important, such as paying the mortgage, instead hone in on the essential uses that matter, i.e. feed the kids, keep the lights on, keep a roof over your head. These will often resonate far more.
Right, now let's be honest, we are in an industry where we have an unlimited supply of jargon to use. But the customer is not interested in that. Either they won't even understand us, or they'll be so bored by our presentation that they just won't accept our advice. So talk to a customer like you'd be talking to your mate down the pub. Explain it to the level that that customer would understand. By the time you present your advice, you'll know the customer pretty well, and you'll generally know at what level to speak to them at. So just gauge it for each individual customer. Advisors who tend to get mithered down in all the technical detail and the nuances and the jargon tend to be using the KFI and the KFD to do all the selling for them. Obviously, we need these documents. They are tools for us to use, but they shouldn't be the only thing in our arsenal. Remember, you've got to appeal to the customer. The technical details is not selling the need to the customer, it's just screaming facts at them. So how do you tell if a customer's losing interest? Well, if you're sending your advice by email, which I do not recommend, you have no clue, so don't use email. If it's telephone, then you can normally tell if someone's confused or not interested. And if you're face-to-face or on a screen like this, it's much easier because there are 700,000 body language cues that we can pick up on. So you can tell if someone looks bored or confused and change your dialect accordingly. Using everyday language to advise on income protection, in my opinion, is the easiest of all the insurance products because it's mathematically provable. It's actual fact. You earn this much, and if you're off sick for more than 3 months, it goes down to this much. So when you're recommending it, provide it as solutions to make sure that the food is paid. Katie's ballet lessons are paid for. Ethan's karate lessons are paid for. Anything, make it personal like that. So always keep it personal and relate it back to what the customer's already told you.
So it is clear from Gary and Matt that it really does matter how you communicate with your clients. Using jargon can quickly lose their interest and confuse them. At Holloway, we prioritise clear communication every time, making sure all of our documents are easy to read and understand. You might have also noticed that our literature is written in everyday language, and we've even created a guide on how to do this. If you haven't seen our everyday language videos yet, be sure to go and check them out on our YouTube channel or our LinkedIn, where you will find me sharing some more tips on this topic. We have really enjoyed creating these videos for IPTF Takeover, and we hope that you have enjoyed watching them as much as we have enjoyed making them. A huge thank you to Matt and Gary for giving us your time and for getting involved with this. Thank you so much, and see you all soon.